With the Hearing Protection Act looking like it may pass, a lot of folks are thinking about suppressors now. The folks at Inland Manufacturing are thinking about them too. Ron Norton from Inland joins me now. How's it going, Ron?
Just fine. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. So tell me about your new suppressors.
Well, we caught everybody by surprise at the SHOT Show. Of course, you had a little bit of a sneak peek on it. We launched our new 22 rimfire suppressor. What's really unique about this one, besides the price at $189 retail,
wow,
is that we're using a plastic monocore. Well, rather than unscrewing it, here's our monocore design that allows for a very easy insertion and replacement of the monocore. It makes cleaning a breeze, especially when you're dealing with a rimfire, which can typically be very dirty.
Yeah, I can imagine. And so that is a really small suppressor.
It's very small. It's and it weighs in at under 3.5 ounces. So it's one of the lightest suppressors on the market. It's about 5.5 inches long and 1 inch diameter.
What kind of decibel ratings are you getting out of that?
We're getting with subsonic target ammo. We test normally with CCI target ammo. Dry, we're getting in the mid 80s, mid 80 decibel ratings.
Wow.
But with our new DB foam, we're getting well in the mid 70 range. First shot.
All right, you can't just throw a foam and then not explain to us what's going on, and you're dropping decibel levels down in the 70s.
Yeah, so. Well, this is a project I've been working on for many years, about 15 years in the works for this, and of course with the Hearing Protection Act, hopefully just around the corner, the timing is right for it.
Yeah.
For the people who's not familiar with suppressors, when you're shooting dry, you've got the oxygen and the fill inside the suppressor. On the first shot, you have substantial pop. Then after the second or third shot, then it settles down. You've got a good level flow until the suppressor cools down, and then the oxygen or the air and gases fill back inside. What the foam does will actually fill the dead airspace inside, and each cell of the foam acts as its own individual baffle, and virtually eliminates the first shot pop, or what I call the bark, on just about any suppressor.
Yeah.
And everybody that has tried this, they've had suppressors for many years. We foam the suppressor up, they shoot it with this, and they just turn around with a big smile on their face. They had no idea that their suppressor could be so quiet.
Now, does the foam have any effect whatsoever on velocity?
Not on velocity, doesn't affect accuracy whatsoever. Because in fact, I guess one way to show it is if you can see this.
It's like suppressor hairspray.
It looks like shaving cream.
Yeah, shaving cream, yeah.
It's the same consistency of shaving cream, and very light. And we have a lot of properties factored into it. It's water soluble, so cleanup, especially with the rimfires, is just a breeze. You can, in fact, hopefully I grabbed the right suppressor. This is, okay, this one has just a little bit of residue left on it, so I didn't grab the right one. But basically this residue, this has had probably 300 shots fired through it. You see the if you can see the residue on a little bit. This simply washes off with hot water. So it makes cleanup a breeze. And the beauty of this foam is if you run with a wet suppressor and you want to use it for, say, a hunting application or a tactical application, you really don't know when your first shot is going to be. So you want a foam that's going to maintain, or some type of substance that's going to maintain the level of protection inside the suppressor for quite some time. What we've done with this foam, I have a suppressor sitting in my safe right now that I foamed over 6 months ago. The foam is still inside the suppressor.
Wow.
6 months. So what that gives you then is if you're going to go hunting tomorrow and you foam up your suppressor, you can go out in the woods, you're guaranteed that first shot is going to be a quiet shot. And because of the foam consistency, you don't have that liquid fluid running down into your action or causing issues with your firearm. And if there is any residue coming back with a backwash with this foam, it's also rust inhibiting.
Gotcha. Because I was going to ask you, what are some of the advantages, disadvantages between using the foam versus water?
Well, this is a rust inhibiting, won't
Yeah.
damage anything on the inside of your firearm. It also has lubricating properties. And then if the temperature is too warm
Hmm.
or anything causes this foam to dissipate, all you've got is a light residue that is throughout your entire suppressor that is still gives a good effect on a lower level decibels.
Okay. So now, how would you go about for people just to demonstrate for people how would you go about actually using the foam and putting it in your suppressor?
Easy way to show that is this. It comes with an application straw or
Okay.
tube, but you can just simply squirt it inside the suppressor.
Hmm.
And I like to do it both also on the backside. It only takes about 1 second burst there. And what it'll do then is, as you can see then in the suppressor, it has just foamed in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't drip out, doesn't drain
Oh,
out.
wow.
And now you've got a suppressor that's going to be extremely quiet on the first shot. We average usually 3 to 5 decibel drop. We've had some suppressors are, it's amazing the drop we have on the first shot,
Yeah.
sometimes 10, 15 decibels lower.
Wow. So, so after the first shot, is it safe to say all of the foam's dissipated, or is there still some residual effect of the
Well,
foam?
there's a residual effect on for 22 rimfire, for example, which, by the way, you can see now how it's that little shot goes inside all the baffle area. On a 22, it's usually good for about 15 to 20 shots, and it gives a nice level. When we're doing our sound test, it gives you a nice level graph, and your first shot substantially quieter than the follow-up shots. So that's the beauty of using the foam.
That's amazing, man. I'm gonna have to get my hands on some of that stuff.
Well, I missed you at the range. We had it at the range
Oh, really?
shooting it there at Media Day. And,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
I know you were busy, but we missed you there. I had one waiting for you.
Oh man,
So,
you got to send out a bat signal or something next time.
so
No,
but
definitely.
again, with higher velocities or higher pressure firearms like an AR platform, it's going to be good for usually the first 4 to 5 shots,
Gotcha.
and after that, the gases have already been depleted,
Gotcha.
and it'll burn it off fairly quick then.
Okay.
But then once you're through shooting, you just wash it out with hot water. You can foam your suppressor up. Your suppressor is protected, and it's ready for your next shot.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you very much for sharing that with us. I look forward to getting my hands on that so I can see what
Absolutely.
kind of.
We'll have to get some out to you so you can play with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Ron, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have coming up in the near future as well. And you definitely have a good one.
Okay, sounds great.
Will do. So that was another episode of Seeing Live. I'm Colion Noir, and I'm out.